Here's the lineup for this year's Michael Lewis and Jerry Coons Jr. on the front row. Second row, Sarah Fisher and John Nervo. In row number 3, Ryan Newman and Jason Leffler. Brian Gerster and Dane Carter start in row number 4. The 5th row, David Goff and Rick Treadway. John Heidenreich and Jay Drake will begin from row number 6. The 7th row, Sarah McCune and Chuck Leary. The 8th row, Danny Dryden and Dave Darlin. Behind them, Ryan Scott and Steve Barth. In the 10th row, A.J. Davis and Travis Wellpot. Clay Klepper and Mark Boyce make up row number 11. And getting an MCI WorldCom provisional start is Joe Janowski. Great field of 3 eligible for the $6,500 in Wins Challenge money. The green comes out. Here we go again. And it's much the same as it was last time, with Sarah Fisher gaining the advantage on board with the pole sitter Michael Lewis, who's back in 3rd position. Now Jerry Coons Jr. has the lead. Ryan Newman comes up to 3rd.
Yes, they let that go because they did not beat him to the line that time. They were around on the bottom, but they did not beat him to the line. Sarah Fisher comes right back on the bottom, though, and takes the lead away. But look at Ryan Newman. Already he's up there challenging Sarah Fisher.
Could have been 3 wide coming out of the corner, but Jerry Coons Jr. wisely backed out. It cost him, though. He drops back to 3rd. Ryan Newman takes 2nd, and here comes Jason Leffler. Down on the inside of Coons in the battle for 3rd position. Now Leffler has it, and he tries to come up to challenge Ryan Newman, but Sarah Fisher has the lead.
Well, Sarah Fisher's got her hands full. She's got 2 of the best in the business right behind her, and they neither one like to run second. Look at Jason Leffler already. He's down to the bottom. He's sliding up. Boy, they're close right there.
But those guys could race themselves right out of a win here if they battle each other to the point where they heat the tires and cannot get up to challenge Sarah. They run side by side all the way through the corner. Now Newman to the outside. No, he drops back. Great side-by-side battle for 2nd position between Ryan Newman up on top and Leffler down on the bottom as Jerry Coons Jr. runs in 3rd position and Nervo runs 4th.
Usually the guy on the bottom of the racetrack is using his tires up more than the guy on the top. It's flatter down there. You get the tires hotter down there. That's why I think Jason Leffler is going to have to fall back and run there in 2nd. Oh, now then it looks like Newman. He got he had his tires cooled off. He stayed on the top of the racetrack. He blew by. Now that Leffler's going to have to make a move pretty quickly if he doesn't want to let Newman pull away.
On lap number 5, a big crash down in turn number 1.
Oh, we got
cars involved.
Several cars. Dane Carter in that bright orange car. I saw Danny Dryden involved. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, at least 10 cars. Half of the field almost stopped down there in turn number 1.
We are red. The 15 of Jay Drake also involved in this crash, and let's hope that we don't have any injuries. There was so much going on down there, so much smoke and so many cars that were crashing. I didn't get a really good feel as to how it started or how serious it was. Dryden and Treadway are out of their cars.
Those 2 guys are out of their cars. The first car I really saw was Dane Carter, that bright orange car, but he was about the 3rd or 4th car. He was not the start of the crash. He was just a victim back a little farther. Here we can see as they head down into turn number 1. It looked like that's Darlin who got into the side of the 15 car of Jay Drake. He went up and got into Dane Carter as Darlin was way down on the bottom of the racetrack. They tried to make it 3 wide, and this is a wide racetrack, but it's going to see Leffler trying to make a move very quickly so he can get up there and challenge.
Yeah, Ryan is liable to run away if Jason can't get 2nd, and he has already. Jason Leffler takes 2nd from Sarah Fisher. So move Leffler up to 2nd. There's Jerry Coons now coming up on Sarah Fisher. Coons in the yellow number 7.
Well, those first 2 cars have proven to be the fastest 2 race cars on the racetrack most of the night. And you can see on back of the pack, they're still racing each other pretty hard. And there goes Leffler down to the inside. Couldn't make it work.
Had an idea, though. He had a notion. Does he get a good run down the backstretch that he can try it in turn number 3? No, he does not. Gets a little loose going in the corner, as a matter of fact. So Newman will come down and lead lap number 7.
Well, right now, Leffler just trying to figure out some place, some way on the racetrack that he can make a move on Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman is really tough at this racetrack. He doesn't make very many mistakes, so if Leffler wants to take the lead, he's literally going to have to take it.
You know, we mentioned earlier about how important money was tonight, and we've documented as Leffler once again takes a shot but can't make the pass. Newman is one of those drivers eligible for the Wins Challenge money and could walk off with a big payday, but Leffler is going to try him again. We might also mention how much damage there were to those cars that were involved in that crash down there in turn number 1. So a lot of money up for grabs, but a lot of drivers and crew members are walking away from here tonight with a big repair bill on their hands.
Yeah, at least 8 cars badly damaged and out of the race, and Leffler just keeps sticking his nose down there, He's trying to worry Newman into making a mistake, and I don't know whether you can worry Newman into doing that or not. He's run this racetrack so many times, he's not going to get rattled too easily. That might work with a lot of people, but I'm not sure it will with him.
Yeah, Ryan is not one of those that can be intimidated easily. Now Leffler once again takes a shot down to the inside, gets a little bit better position this time.
He certainly does. Now he's drawn alongside of him. They're going to be a drag race down in this next corner, and he's going to win. But look at Newman, back to the inside. Now then he's going to try to come up a little bit on Leffler. He couldn't get back by him. Nice driving by both those guys.
No kidding. Newman, a 5-time winner here in IRP, 4 in a midget, 1 in a silver bullet car. Leffler has only 1 win here at Indianapolis Raceway Park, that in the Silver Bullet Series in July. Position as we await the drop of the green flag to resume this Mel Kenyon Classic.
Wow, and Jason Leffler doesn't let anybody even have a smell of trying to get under him as he pulls off into a huge lead right off the bat, and everybody else just battling back there. As we take a look at Clay Klepper back there running, he's got a battle in his hands.
That's Ryan Scott right behind him in the 48 car, the young man from North Carolina that we talked to a few moments ago.
It looks like he's going to try to go to the out, challenging Barth for about 6th position. See right there, looks like he's got a little bit of a push coming off of the corner and trying to run down Steve Barth in that number 6 car.
And he gets to the inside. Oh, did he save it?
Boy, it looked pretty scary.
Well, he forced Barth up into the fence.
He got Barth's attention. He was clear up next to the fence, and he way out of the throttle. Cost Barth a couple of spots as he tried to get it all gathered up.
Yeah, Steve had to get way out of the gas, and he really lost the positions. Here we are in turn number 1. Lewis makes the move inside of Steve Barth.
He just moved up there, and Barth had nothing to do. He did. He touched it with the tail, but gathered it all back up. You can see the oil dry up there kind of, he ran through that and kind of threw that around, but he did get going again, but lost a couple of spots in the process.
That, of course, is where the big crash occurred early in this 40-lap event. There's the interval now between 1st and 2nd position as Ryan Newman begins to pull away.
It just amazes me that Leffler pulled away so much there before that yellow flag, and now all of a sudden he is back 4 or 5 car lengths.
There's Coons, there's Nervo, there is Scott, Fisher.
Yeah, there could all those guys running in the top inside the top 10 as the 6th car of Barth has pulled down to the inside. Obviously, that contact caused him some trouble.
That was a real good move by Michael Lewis to change that right rear, because that car is performing much better since he made the change.
Well, right now, Jason Leffler, I imagine, is scratching his head a little bit, trying to figure out what he has to do to get back up there to give some sort of a challenge with only 4 laps to go, and so far he hasn't been able to find the answer.
Now 3 laps to go as number 37 is completed. Amy East has an observation from pit road.
Well, we've been talking a lot about Michael Lewis and that fresh right rear. I asked his crew chief and father, Mike Lewis, why they did that, and Mike said it just made him so nervous how loose Michael was before. They elected to change the tire and give Michael the confidence he needed to get back into the race.
Well, he's coming up on the 5th place car at the moment, coming up on Ryan Scott, and that car is really flying.
Yeah, that may have been a very smart move on their part. He's not going to have enough laps to get much farther up than 5th, but he might have come all the way from about 11th to 5th.
Well, the white flag is in the air. 1 more lap to go for Ryan Newman. Jason Leffler led part of this race, but lost it on the restart. Coming off the most recent caution, Ryan Newman taking the lead, and he is driving to his second midget win here at Indianapolis Raceway Park in 1999. It's his 9th career win in the MCI WorldCom Midget Division, 6th overall here at Indianapolis Raceway Park.